Right, welcome back, my children. Geraint Thomas seems to have blown up. He was just working on the front for Ineos. 16.6 kilometres to go. Welcome back, my children. Geraint Thomas. Ooh, let me get rid of that feedback. So Geraint was working on the front for Ineos. That's not unexpected. I mean, he's just getting some training in the legs, and he's not in contention. He's too far back to actually win this race. So I thought that was completely normal for Geraint Thomas to be doing that. You guys might think differently, but yeah, I didn't. I thought that was pretty normal, given that he's like 5 minutes, 6 minutes behind. Same with Froome. I'm not sure if Froome seems to be on the wheel of Egan Bernal right now in this group. So I'm watching on GCN Racing, and on the front right now with 16.3 k's to go is Andre Amador. He's in front of Jonathan Castroviejo. Egan Bernal is third wheel behind him. Andrea Baglioli is in a breakaway ahead of them. He's wearing the points jersey. I think he's 50 seconds ahead of those guys with Julien Bernard. Trek Segafredo rider, I think. French rider, and he's wearing the King of the Mountains jersey. So those two guys obviously trying to retain their jerseys that they have in the breakaway, but they're going to get caught for sure. John, did Thomas puncture yesterday, or was that just an excuse? I'm pretty sure that was just an excuse. I didn't. We all searched social media far and wide to see whether there was actually any evidence of it, and there wasn't. So I think he just got dropped. I'm not ready to say that Thomas got dropped because he doesn't have the legs, or whether he just decided the pace was too hot and there was no need to be contesting, multiple Ineos guys to be contesting the general classification leadership of this small race. That's a tune-up race ultimately for the Tour de France, and he thought, why not let Egan Bernal go up the road? Jesse Van Hulst, anyone know where Hessink and Bennett are? Got dropped at the first climbs. Maybe. Those guys worked pretty hard yesterday, particularly Bennett. I only turned the footage on about 20 minutes ago. Obviously, we haven't really seen, because the GCN Racing Eurosport footage only started half an hour ago. We haven't seen what happened on that first climb. This is a proper mountain stage. It replicates what happened in the Tour de France 2015, the Grand Colombier stage. So yeah, proper mountain stage with a proper mountaintop finish. Right now, Froome looking at stem. He's got Tom Dumoulin on his wheel. Primoz behind Tom Dumoulin. I see Bennett. I see Stefan Kruijswijk. I see Quintana and his brother Daya Quintana. Richie Porte Mollema is there. Dan Martin's there. So I think Bennett is still there, but not Robert Hessink. And Andre Amador's doing a fine job on the front of those guys. Had a few tech issues, that's why the stream started a little bit late. Let me know if audio, video, everything's working fine. I presume it's working okay. I might move a little bit this way or this way. But Amador's grinding. They're on a steep section right now. 15.6 k's to go. 15.6 k's to go, middler. But again, like we did last night, and boy, if you want to check out my race recap on Milano Sanremo, I'll put that up on my website earlier this morning, your time, Europe time. We did this yesterday where we said, write down in the live chat what you think is going to happen this stage. Who's your pick for this stage? My pick yesterday was Wout van Aert, and he was don't have to be a genius. He was the race favourite for that. A Jumbo-Visma rider looks like he's getting dropped right now. It's not Primoz, but unfortunately the Jumbo-Visma jerseys are yellow, so is Primoz. But Primoz is still there, but it might be Stefan Kruijswijk. It's hard to tell. One of the Jumbo-Visma guys is going backwards. But this stage should really suit Egan Bernal a lot more than yesterday. Yesterday he was having to chase back on the flat when Jumbo-Visma were giving him the old 1-2 treatment. But I think that's what Ineos are going to do. We're going to see this. They're going to try and do this on the Col de Loz stage in the Tour de France this year. Ineos are going to ride this tempo try and set up an attack on the steeper section for Egan and Bernal. And this is a real test right now. Today is a real stage to focus on for what is going to happen in the Tour de France this year. Can Primoz Roglič hold on to Bernal's wheel at the end of a long HC climb on a steeper section? That's probably... I mean, Bernal is going to go. Do I think Roglič can hold his wheel? Yes, I do think Roglič can hold his wheel. So that's my prediction. Roglič hold his wheel and secures the GC win for the Tour de l'Ain. But let me know in the live chat what you think is going to happen. 27-second gap to the breakaway, 15 Ks exactly left in this stage. Excuse me. Jesus. At 4-hour Milano-San Remo stream yesterday. Gotta say, it's taken out of me a little bit. Went to bed at 4 a.m. It's too G'd up with Wout van Aert winning yesterday. Probably getting a little bit sick from these late nights. And yeah, Remco 50k breakaway. Number 75 is getting dropped right now. Michael Rees, Dutch rider for Trek Segafredo, 14.8 Ks to go. So yeah, probably getting a little bit sick, but it is what it is. You got to grind. I mean, we've had no racing for a long time. I got to put in the hard yards now that it is actually back. Julien Bernard and Baglioli both got their jerseys unzipped. It's probably quite hot on the climb. They just both doused themselves with water, and it's not a 20-second gap. I just saw with 14.7 Ks to go, the Ineos train right behind them. It looks like a 9-8 second gap to them. So those guys are going to get brought back ASAP. Let me know if you watched or looked at my race recap for Milano-San Remo. What do you think of it? You think I covered everything? Were you G'd up by Wout van Aert winning in the fashion that he did? I was pretty excited about it. I think Alaphilippe, as I said last night on the stream, played his cards as just about as well as he could, you know. If he'd stopped pulling earlier, then probably they get caught by the peloton. But I'd like to have known, you know, Michael Matthews won the bunch sprint for third. And he, did you see the amount of blood on his boots and jersey and bike? Like, he cut his hand up pretty badly. So had he not crashed on the Poggio, maybe things would have ended a bit differently. But right now, still 4 Ineos riders. Amador, Castroviejo, Bernal, and Froome, fourth wheel. Froome is on Egan Bernal's wheel. Can I show the GC standing? Yes, I can. I wonder if Froome's been trolling us. So yeah, sorry, this is the situation on GC in the Tour de l'Ain right now. Roglič first. He's wearing a yellow jersey that looks eerily similar to the normal Jumbo-Visma jersey and his National Champs jersey. Egan Bernal second for Ineos, the Colombian, and Valerio Conti, the surprise rider, in third. 12 seconds behind Roglič, the Italian rider, and not Fabio Aru. You know, Fabio Aru we would have thought would be the best UAE place, you know, the best placed UAE rider. Bauke Mollema, fourth position. He had an issue with his cleat yesterday. I understand he broke his cleat or something, and that's why he had a problem with the sprint. Super weird. For that to have happened. He would have been already clipped in, so I don't exactly know what happened. The minute he started sprinting, he broke his pedal or whatever, so bizarre. Quintana fifth. I think Quintana is going to finish on the podium on GC, because I think Quintana will drop Conti and Mollema and put enough time into them on this stage. Let me know what's the final podium. I think final podium, Primoz, Bernal, and Quintana third is my prediction. So let me know what your prediction is for this. But Amador's looking, he's looking pretty good. I'm not sure the pace is super hot right now. Amador's been on the front for quite a while. Him and Castroviejo, mouth open, look like they're struggling a bit. I think Castroviejo is going to take over pretty soon. But yeah, I'm not sure that. Oh, Froome just lost the wheel to Bernal. So Froome is losing the wheel to Bernal. And it's kind of like the 3 other Ineos riders are going off into the distance. So Froome is already struggling. 13.6 Ks to go. Kind of a risk for Jumbo-Visma there. So if Froome had properly lost the wheel, Jumbo-Visma have to go around him. If I was Primoz Roglic, I would go in front of Froome right now to make sure that when Froome loses the wheel in the next kilometre, he's not having to close a big gap to Egan Bernal's back wheel. So, yeah. Bus cracked. Why is Aru riding with rim brakes? Because rim brakes are faster than disc brakes. They're faster bikes. So if you can ride with rim brakes, why not ride with them? Let's see what your predictions were though. I'm keen to see. So Will Osman, Froome, Port. That's not happening. That's a mistake. Varun Workdani, Evenepoel 1, Wout van Aert 2, Tom Boonen 3rd, Filippo Pozzato 4th, and Roger de Vlaminick 5th. Fair enough. Karl Labacher, sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Aru was in trouble at the very start. And Froome has gone into second wheel. So Froome has come off the wheel of Egan Bernal right now, 13.2 Ks to go. And he's second wheel, just barely covering Jonathan Castroviejo's wheel. And Bernal's on the radio right now, probably telling Brailsford to get this fucking praying mantis away from the front of my wheel, because he's about to make me lose Jonathan Castroviejo's wheel. Amador's pulled off. Froome is obviously still struggling. Stefan Kruijswijk, Dumoulin, Roglič, Bennett, they're looking pretty comfortable, to be honest. Hessink isn't there. But I'm watching on GCN Race Pass on my laptop on the beta version. It's kind of a risk for Bernal right now having Froome in front of him, and Froome pulls off. I think it's 13 Ks to go exactly. I just saw an Ineos rider pull off. It wasn't Amador. It's a different rider that pulled off. They're showing Amador right now, but some other rider pulled off. They're probably just behind the bunch right now. So I don't know who's on the front right now. I assume it might have been Froome that got dropped. Andreas Half. No, don't go to your date, mate. Just stay watching this. Wait, Egan Bernal. That's Egan Bernal. So Egan Bernal's gone to the back of this group, and Chris Froome is second wheel. And Egan Bernal, now I mentioned this in the stream yesterday, he doesn't like riding in front of his rivals. He likes to be behind them and watching their moves so he doesn't get attacked from behind. But he's gone back to mark Stefan Kruijswijk, I think. So he's on the wheel of Kruijswijk and Quintana. And yeah, he went back quite fast to the back of the group, but now he's moved up to mid-pack and he's sitting on Quintana, Roglič, and Kruijswijk. So this is what Bernal likes doing so that he doesn't get attacked from behind. Bernal wasn't getting dropped. He just likes watching. Dan Martin, Bauke Mollema. Poor fellas. They can't compete with these guys when it comes to crunch time. But Quintana's looking really good. I would fancy actually Quintana almost to win this stage. Just about. He was probably tired on Mont Ventoux. Jonathan Castroviejo is on the front right now. Who do we think is going to blow up first? Tom Dumoulin or Froome? I'd bet any money that Froome blows up before Tom Dumoulin. And I've got 12.6 kilometers to go right now. Overhead shot, this lovely hairpin on the Grand Colombier. And I'm going to keep blowing my nose on stream. Sorry, I can't get up every time, so you're just going to have to accept it. Castroviejo has been the real revelation for me in this Tour de France. I know he's always been really, really good at the base of mountains and on the flats and valleys in the Tour de France for Team Ineos the last few years, but he's been stronger than Amador. He's been their last man in their mountain train. Now, I know they're missing the boys that you saw in Milano Sanremo yesterday, who'll be part of their mountain leader or their mountain train. Filippo Ganna, probably will they take him to the Tour de France? Gianni Moscon, Mikhail Kwiatkowski, but yeah, Castroviejo's looked really, really good. And man, Jumbo-Visma looked really strong. Like Ineos apparently were putting pressure on earlier in this race. Today, Geraint Thomas was setting pace. Ineos were having a show of strength on the first climb, but who's this Quick-Step rider, number 81? Yeah, I got 12.1 k's to go as they round this hairpin. But yeah, when it's come down to it on the Colombier right now, Jumbo-Visma look much the stronger team. Once Castroviejo pulls off this turn, I mean, this is risky for Ineos, right? So, okay, the plan is to lead out for Bernal, set him up on this sort of climb, then he'll punch the steep part. But if Castroviejo blows up right now, I'm telling you, Chris Froome ain't closing down any Jumbo-Visma attacks. That's for damn sure. And it'll be very, very risky for Bernal to attack from this far out before the really steep section. And Froome keeps losing the wheel of Castroviejo. The Jumbo-Visma guys just look like predators, just waiting to snaffle him up. And Castroviejo is really going to be the only protection for Bernal at this stage. The Quick-Step riders, João Almeida, the Portuguese rider for Quick-Step, I believe. He's doing very, very well. Number 81 for Cofidis is, I'd have to guess, Jesus Herrera. It is Guillaume Martin, so that was a bad guess. I mean, Dumoulin looks not comfortable right now, that's for sure, but I still think he'll do... I mean, Froome doesn't look comfortable either, but he never does with his elbows flared like that. And Froome has gone to the front now ahead of Castroviejo. Mollema has been dropped, and I think Froome just did an in-the-saddle high-cadence attack. 11.7 k's to go. He's on this like washing machine system right now. Definitely had Dumoulin and Roglič on the wheel, though. He didn't distance them. It's too early in the climb for that anyway. So I'd be interested to see how long Froome will have on the front right now and whether he'll be able to drop anybody. Quintana's looking like he's doing it very, very easy. Froome's looking back at Bernal. This is really... I guess Castroviejo's still there. So Castroviejo pulled off and Froome rolled over him. But Froome's got going very quickly. They look like Kruijswijk's drinking water. Someone else, Dumoulin's going to get a gel. Roglič is talking to the boys. I think Froome's not setting a very hard pace right now. George Bennett, I can see talking on the team radio. They're asking what to do. So Froome's just kind of biding time right now, saving Castroviejo's legs a little bit because, well, yeah, whilst their plan was to set this up for Bernal to smack it, this once again looks like today Bernal is going to get exposed and have at least 3 Jumbo-Visma riders that could be attacking him. But they don't really need to attack him because Roglič is in the leader's jersey, but Jumbo-Visma train definitely looking much stronger than Team Ineos. I don't think Geraint Thomas is weaker than Froome. I think Thomas probably pulled a longer turn on the other climb, although we didn't really see the full extent of the longer climb. Number 44 for Jumbo-Visma, George Bennett's going backwards. He's now sitting on Guillaume Martin. I mean, that's kind of understandable for Bennett to maybe have a little bit of a more chill day today or get dropped today. He did a very, very solid job for Roglič yesterday, as did Stefan Kruijswijk, actually. And I don't think Froome is monstering it right now. I can see the Jumbo guys are on and off the race radio, or team radio constantly, probably trying to get instructions as to what they should do once Froome inevitably blows up. But while we've got a washing machine on the front, and yeah, the Jumbo-Visma car's actually right there as they all collect a bidon, and maybe Bennett was just going to the back to collect bidons for the boys, so he's not even struggling today at all. He's just collecting bidons. I'm not sure, but yeah, if you want to join my Discord or support the channel, make sure to join channel membership. Link is in the description down below. That supports the channel a lot. It's my full-time job now. Or consider dropping a super chat or a sticker if you like the live streams the last few days. They've been really enjoyable, and I mean, we've hit really good numbers on them too. Crazy numbers. I think we've like 20,000 views for like the Milan Sanremo video, and I had it private afterwards. That was just while it was live. But Froome's doing a pretty handy job. 11 k's to go on the money. I'm not sure what the gap is to anyone behind them. They're on a slightly flatter section now, which will suit Castroviejo. But if I had to guess, Froome was reaching the end of his turn pretty shortly. He looks like he's really breathing quite heavily now. And Egan Bernal's gone to the back of the group, but that was just to get a gel, I think, from the team car. He's on Guillaume Martin's wheel ahead of Almeida. Bernal's on the race radio again right now. He's been on the race radio a lot. And if you saw on my Instagram... oh, by the way, sorry, Boykin11. There's VODs of the live commentaries. I'll leave them up for channel members because... it kind of messes with the algorithm to leave live streams up. YouTube's not great with live streams, but obviously the channel members, like people like watching them, some people. So I leave them up for channel members. So that's another incentive, along with like the articles and things that I write, or other extra videos and content I do for channel members. So yeah, I leave them up for channel members. Bernal, if you looked at my Instagram, I put up, I think when you guys woke up in Europe, Bernal was not having a good time at the end of yesterday's stage 2. He struggled in the heat, I think. I heard from people on the ground as well. That's just not me making that up. I heard direct from people that, yeah, Bernal both wasn't looking good at the conclusion of that stage and also wasn't happy probably with the support or lack thereof he got from the other Ineos riders. Whereas Primoz, straight up on the cool-down bike, on the turbo, cooling down. And maybe Bernal's going to pay for that effort he had to do yesterday. Today, I don't know. I doubt it. I think I'd very much doubt that Roglič would be able to drop Egan Bernal on a climb such as this. Varum, you remember, so you should be able to see the Sanremo video. You should be able to see it. If you go to my video list, I'm pretty sure. Or your subscription list. But what else what other questions have you got? Alan Kine, do you think that Kruijswijk and Bennett will have a chance at GC this year at all? Maybe at Vuelta? I don't know. I've focused a lot on the Tour and the Giro. I don't even know. Is the Vuelta like 18 stages and they've cut out 3 stages? And I don't even know what the Vuelta looks like, to be honest. But maybe Kruijswijk gets an opportunity there if he does a good job for the boys or even George Bennett. You know, if they do a good job, they both go as co-leaders in the Vuelta. I'm not sure. I haven't really thought about the Vuelta too much. Welcome, Yella Cabus. Welcome to the Lantern Squad. Check the community tab for the link to the Discord. But yeah, I've been actually kind of impressed. 9.4Ks to go. I'm impressed by this Froome turn. Not gonna lie, I really respect Froome for what he's been able to do, coming back from that devastating injury. And at the end of the day, he's still in a select group on an HC mountain stage, driving it really hard with 9.2Ks to go. So you got to respect that. This is a level that a lot of riders never get to in their whole career. And he's doing that, you know, after that injury. So yes, I don't think he's going to win the Tour de France. Yes, he's all out right now, but still, he's in a fantastic level for anyone in their career. It's just not enough compared to Bernal and Primoz Roglič. But the problem for Ineos with this ride is, yes, Froome's working hard, but it's not strung out, and Froome's just pulled off right now, 8.8Ks to go, Froome has pulled off, and what I was about to say was, he's just not setting that harder pace, and you see Dumoulin's let Castroviejo's wheel go. This is really, really good tactics from Ineos, from Jumbo-Visma, sorry, really, really good tactics from Jumbo-Visma. And Froome has now gone to the front again, trying to set pace. So the problem with this, right, yeah, Bernal very concerned and at the back of this group wanting to watch attacks, although if I was wanting to watch attacks I wouldn't be sitting on Almeida's wheel. So Bernal's gone right to the back of this group. And the problem with Ineos' strategy is these guys can pull as hard as they want, but if Dumoulin just is like, well, if you want to attack Froome, you're 12 minutes behind. You go your heart out. Castroviejo started pulling and Dumoulin just let the wheel go. So, yeah, really smart from Jumbo-Visma. And the problem with Ineos strategy is that Bernal's so far behind in this group and probably not in a position to attack right now. But hats off to Chris Froome, who has pulled off for good with 8.5 Ks to go. Froome just pulled a monster turn. Again, like he pulled off to let Castroviejo come through maybe 30 seconds ago, and he's doing the Kwiatkowski's. Is this the same climb where Kwiatkowski was doing like the track stand on the climb after his turn in 2015? Or 2016? But if you were Tom Dumoulin right now, why not? This is what I've always thought. This is why I've always thought has been the strategy to beat the Sky Train. Why not let Castroviejo's wheel go right now if you're in the leader's jersey? And Bernal's kind of been, and now we're seeing the problem with Bernal. He's sitting on Kruijswijk's wheel. He's been gapped. Castroviejo's looking back with 8.2 Ks to go saying, where the fuck is Egan? Egan had dropped back to the back of that group and now is coming around Kruijswijk, coming back to the wheel of Guillaume Martin. Super weird. Like, super weird what Egan Bernal's doing right now. Because if he still has the legs, and now Primoz is rolling through and Dumoulin's setting pace for him, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Egan Bernal, who's going to have to close this gap on his own. Castroviejo's dropping back to him. This is terrible tactics from Ineos and Egan Bernal. I don't understand what he was doing, unless he's cracked, but I don't think he was. Balcom Oliver's going back. This is so strange. Castroviejo's brought him back to the back of this train. I don't think Bernal was like getting dropped. I don't think Bernal was in such bad shape right then that he had to go to the back of the group to cling on for dear life. I think he went back to the gel to get the gel, maybe 5 minutes ago, 7.9 Ks to go, and then just didn't move up the group. Sat on Guillaume Martin. Predictably, a split happened when Castroviejo and Froome pulled. Both Froome pulled off, and then Castroviejo was drilling it, looked back, saw there was a split, and Bernal's on the wrong side of it, pulls off, and Dumoulin goes on the front and says, we didn't even have to attack, we could just ride tempo, and now Bernal has to close this gap on his own. Now, maybe if Jumbo-Visma, if they're playing 4D chess and Bernal's doing it again, Bernal was going to sit on Guillaume Martin, now moving up the left-hand side as Castroviejo goes back to pull on the front. Maybe Jumbo-Visma are playing 4D chess and, you know, Bernal went to sit on Kruijswijk's wheel. He wanted to sit on the last Jumbo guy. And Kruijswijk just let the wheel go, created a split, and then Bernal had to close it because Kruijswijk was on the wrong side of that split. And look, Dumoulin's letting the wheel go again. Dumoulin's letting the wheel go of Castroviejo again, saying we'll ride at our pace. And this is what it happens when you've got the strongest team. And also, this is what, when people say, what is the benefit strategically of having the incumbency of the leader's jersey? This is the benefit of wearing the leader's jersey, because you don't need to gain any time. You don't need to you just need to follow people. Castroviejo pulls off again because Jumbo-Visma were kind of thwarting it, and now Jumbo-Visma, Ineos style, Dumoulin just riding tempo on the front. And I don't know if it looks kind of like Castroviejo is just as strong, if not stronger, than Egan Bernal on this climb. But I said this before. If you guys want, let me go. I'm just going to go check the odds because I'm about to I think I might actually put quite a large bet on right now. I know you probably, it's a bit of a meme. Oh, Lanterne, you overreact to things. It's Tour de l'Ain, but Egan Bernal at $3, 2-1 in British, British odds. That's far too short, and I think that's lunacy. And his odds have kind of drifted a little bit, and I'm about to put. Alright, so if Egan Bernal stays at 3.2 on Betfair, there's quite a lot of liquidity right there. I think that's probably a bookmaker trying to lay back. or back, sorry, it is $500 liquidity to lay, so that's $1,000 liability. I really like that right now. I think Egan Bernal at $3.20 is just insanity for the Tour de France. But maybe this is just all meaningless, this race, this stage race, and it has no bearing on anything. And I think those odds are insanity, not because I don't rate Egan Bernal, but because Ineos team won't be as strong this year. No Froome, probably. No Thomas. Like at their peaks, there won't be a proper trident, I don't think. And so there's just going to be so many opportunities where a stronger team, Jumbo-Visma, will be able to expose Egan Bernal. There's time bonuses, I think 8 seconds or 10 seconds for each stage. I think Roglič, as we saw yesterday, can beat Bernal in sprints at the end of stages. And Jumbo-Visma just look really, really well put together, well organised, professional, and a lot stronger than Ineos. They just look mad strong. So I think $3.20 for Bernal is way, way too short. I think he should be probably 6s. So given how open this Tour de France is, how he looks right now. But let me know, do you disagree? Do you think I'm overreacting? Do you think $3.20 for Bernal is fair? I've been saying for a long time that Roglič is my favourite for the Tour de France, like a long time. He was 9-1, I think, for a little bit earlier about a month ago. I don't think Dumoulin is capable of contesting the Tour, but he's definitely capable of being a super domestique. So I think, yeah, Roglič just looks super comfortable. And you guys, you got to remember right now that this stage is like perfectly set up for Bernal. You know, when you say, oh, what sort of stage would Egan Bernal love and like suits him? It's this stage. The Col de Loz stage is similar to this, sort of, and yeah, I think seeing him struggle in this stage is a bit concerning for him. And 6.3 k's to go. I wish they'd cut away from Dan Martin gurning. I don't need to see that. I just need him to stop and just focus on the Ardennes. I think Quintana wins the stage today. Well, Quintana's probably going to go into third on podium, right? Is that correct? Quintana, Mollema has been dropped and Valerio Conti's been dropped, so Quintana will go into third on the podium. Richie Porte looking pretty good. Quantich, I only use Betfair. Betfair offers the exchange. So Betfair is not a bookie, it's an exchange. Alice Martin, do you think Bernal is pissed that he had to work yesterday and he's burnt out a bit today? I definitely think there was a lot of stress yesterday. I definitely think he was stressed by that situation. It was hot. It's pretty hot in Tour de l'Ain. I don't think he likes the heat. Carapaz doesn't like the heat. And Bernal's struggling. He looks like he's really struggling to hold Kruijswijk's wheel. Oh, no. Roglič wheel, even. They've sent Roglič to the back. I mean, it's possible that Kruijswijk could win the Tour de France. I do see a situation where it's very unlikely, but say some random guy has the yellow jersey that's not in contention for GC, and this exact situation was happening right now with 7 k's to go, and Bernal was marking Roglič at the back of the group, and they send Kruijswijk up the road as like a faux attack to try and get Bernal to close it down, but he can't. And Kruijswijk just tempo, like a metronome, drops everybody and everyone's really weak, and Jumbo-Visma don't chase it back, and he gets some time. And then somehow he manages to defend that time. Maybe Kruijswijk could win the Tour in that sort of situation. It's unlikely, but like right now they could send Kruijswijk up the road, stop pedaling, and I doubt Bernal would be able to close him down. Like Bernal's struggling to hold the wheel right now. And mishmash, yes, that's kind of like what happened with Carapaz at the Giro. And man, Roglič, do you see that look? Do you see that look? He just looked at Bernal and said, "Are you right, mate?" And just Roglič cruised up the side of the side of the group. I think he just shouted out to Dumoulin on the front. They all took a bite. He just took a bar. Man, there's a lot of mental games going on. Did you see Bernal's Instagram this morning? 5.5Ks to go. Bernal's Instagram, I always read the captions and everything on their Instas, their stories. Bernal said, "Good training day. Good training day." So it's not the real race, Roglič. Calm down. Calm down, Lanterne Rouge. This is just training. We'll see what happens at the end of August. But I accept that Bernal can probably get to a higher level with a little, like a deload and taper for the Tour de France. I accept that, but I can't see his team being nearly as strong as this Jumbo-Visma squad. Moritz Font says, "I don't think Bernal is struggling. I think he won't get dropped right now, but I don't think he's in any position to launch any sort of attack with some radiation, although he's sitting up right now, just getting a gel with exactly 5Ks to go." Has Tour de Land lived up to your expectations? It certainly exceeded my expectations for how exciting this was. I was kind of worried these guys would probably treat it as training and just chill and not attack each other. But yeah, that was 5Ks to go. It's now 4.9Ks to go. Max AFC 46, I think they should take Sivakov. Sivakov is probably a top 5 general classification rider in the world right now and a top 5 climber in the world. Isaac van der Veer says, "Wouldn't they be as strong if they have Thomas and Sivakov?" I don't think Thomas is as good as Kruijswijk right now. Kruijswijk looks stronger than Thomas. I know Thomas pulled an earlier turn, but Kruijswijk attacked yesterday multiple times and also pulled on the front for Primoz. Primoz is talking to Kruijswijk right now. Dumoulin, by the way, this has gone through, gone unsaid in the last 10 minutes. Tom Dumoulin has been on the front the whole time. Let me just refresh this. Sorry, I didn't refresh Twitter for y'all. But Dumoulin's been on the front. He hadn't raced. This is his first race in 420 or whatever days. And he's riding really, really strong on the front. Yes, he's not dropping. I mean, he dropped, I'm not sure who he just dropped, but Guillaume Martin and Port are still there. So, yeah. Dumoulin looking really, really good. And I think Tom Dumoulin will win a Grand Tour in 2021. Depending on, which ones have the right time trial profiles, etc. But yeah, I'll be putting money on Dumoulin to win a Grand Tour in 2021. As well as Sivakov and Roglič. I think it'll be those three. Maybe not Sivakov. But yeah, Roglič and Dumoulin look really, really strong. If you want me to add 4.2Ks to go, Dumoulin's still on the front. Quintana has been in the wheels on Roglic's wheel the whole time. It says 4Ks to go, Arrivé on the side of the road. Nice ride here from Guillaume Martin and Port, who both did pretty well in the Mont Ventoux Challenge a few days ago. If you want to support the channel, make sure to join channel membership and join the Discord. As I think people have said, it's a pretty good community in there. We're always talking about racing, etc. And it helps me out. Or drop a super chat or a sticker if you've liked these live streams the last few days. But they're going 50Ks an hour right now on a little downhill flat section. Jumbo-Visma don't have to do anything, right? I'm not sure what the time bonuses are for the end of this stage. But if I go back to the GC overall, Roglič is only 10 seconds ahead of Egan Bernal. So I guess if Bernal attacks him really late and gains like 5 seconds, I've forgotten how many seconds how many is it? And it was, I can figure it out now. It's 6 seconds, so it's 6 seconds for Welcome, William, to the Lantern squad. I think it's 6 seconds. Because Roglič got a 6-second bonus yesterday on GC against Bernal. Is that right? Yeah, nothing really has changed in the last kilometre or so. Castroviejo has dropped. Egan Bernal is once again on his own. 3 kilometres to go. Tom Dumoulin on the front. And this race for GC isn't over. I mean, Bernal's still sitting on the wheels. And as people have said, Jacob Peck says, if Bernal wins, Roglič will still need to get on the podium for this stage. That's even if they share the same time. No, if they share the same time, I still think Roglič wins if he gets on the podium on the stage. Or like comes fourth. And there's an attack now from Richie Porte on the left-hand side of the road. I'm not sure how far behind he is on GC. Let's have a look. Porte is... Jesus. Where are you, Richie? I have to filter the track. Port's 13 minutes back. And yet, Tom Dumoulin's having none of it. Wasn't going to let him go. And Bernal's, this is what he fails to... He struggles with the accelerations, I think, Bernal. And he uses his diesel to get back to them. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is 10 seconds LDT because obviously Bernal came second. That's why he got... second or third, that's why he got bonus seconds too. I lost the plot there. George Bennett gone to the front again. Primoz Roglic second wheel. Bernal, yeah, and now Tom Dumoulin was just in front of Bernal. Dan Martin's been distanced. Bernal's not done. He's not done or dropped. He's just not as good as responding to those accelerations. He prefers to do it in slow time. Robin, in the community tab, there should be the Discord link on my YouTube community tab. It should be in there. But George Bennett looking very, very good on the front. 2.4 Ks to go. John Pickering, do you like Mollema for a few stages of the tour? No. I think Balker will ride a strong tour and probably come 6th or 7th on GC, but not win a stage. But a great effort from Tom Dumoulin, who's pulled off now. A fantastic work from him. And it's Bennett on the front driving it. Roglič on his wheel. Then Nairo Quintana, Richie Porte 4th wheel looking fantastic. Guillaume Martin 5th wheel. And Egan Bernal at the back of the group 6th wheel. And I don't think it's a good strategy for Bernal not to be on Roglic's wheel. I don't understand it. Do you guys think about why Bernal has insisted on being at the back of this group the whole time and not on Roglic's wheel? He did close this gap pretty easily once he got going. $1.9 Ks to go. This has been a masterclass from Jumbo-Visma and a little bit strange from Ineos, to be honest. Wout de Koning just playing mental games. Yeah, but what mental game is it sitting at the back of the group? Another attack from Porte. Bennett gets out of the saddle, starts closing it down. I mean, in the Tour de France, Jumbo-Visma shouldn't be closing this down. They should be letting, just focusing on yellow jersey. They don't need to be closing down Porte right now. You don't need to go for every stage win. So, but this is Tour de France, so Bennett's probably just flexing, testing the legs. But I really think... Yeah, maybe Bernal feels really good and he's like, I'm just going to close gaps from behind. But why waste the extra energy when you don't have to? When you could just... Roglic isn't going to get dropped, so why not sit on his wheel? Porte's attack didn't work. Hats off to him for trying. Going for the stage win. And Bennett goes back on the front, setting tempo. Roglic on his wheel. This has been a really, really, really interesting stage. Not exactly what I expected. I expected Ineos to try. Roglic again going back, freewheeling, looking at Egan Bernal. I don't know why Primoz is doing that though. That doesn't make sense. He should have stayed. Maybe Primoz is just trying to make sure that Bernal doesn't attack them from behind, and Primoz is getting into play. Primoz is going to attack. Primoz is definitely going to attack, and he feels really good. I think that's why he's going to the back of this group, so that people can't follow his wheel once Bennett pulls off. So Primoz is 5th wheel. Bennett still pulling. They're under the Flamme Rouge right now. It says 1.1 Ks to go. on the graphic. But Roglič is going to attack 100%, and I think he's going to take out this stage win because Quintana will not be able to snap onto his wheel. And the closer they get to the line, the more it suits Primoz, and that's what I think is going to happen in the Tour de France. Primoz is going to take bonus seconds away from people, and they're onto the final steep ramp right now. Quintana's on Bennett's wheel. Bennett's on Port's wheel. Port is trying to attack once again from the front, but Bennett's riding on his wheel. Quintana's going to ride for GC podium. He's going to be on the GC podium, I'm pretty sure, in this race. Unless, yeah, I think pretty sure he will be. And now it slows down again. 4 minutes. It says 4 hours, 4 minutes and 55 seconds on my screen. Port accelerates once again. Quintana onto his wheel. Primoz watching, and he doesn't need to attack till late. But Port looks really, really strong, and Roglič is worried that Guillaume Martin's going to lose Quintana's wheel right now, and he's probably going to move up on the left-hand side of Guillaume Martin. Bernal attacks to the right-hand side of the road. Roglič moves up on the left-hand side, marking his move. This is the trademark Bernal attack, and let's see if he can distance Primoz Roglič. I don't think he'll be able to. Roglič right on his wheel, and Roglič counter-attacks over the top of him, and this is, well, will counter-attack over the top of him. Bernal straight sprinting up this mountain at the end of Grand Colombier. And this is the two Tour de France favourites sprinting in the Tour de l'Ain. Last 500 metres. Waiting. Bernal gets back in the saddle. Primoz marked out easily, and Roglič is looking very comfortable, and I think he's going to take out this stage. And a lot of mental games here for the Tour de France. And man, I can't wait for the Tour de France. If it's half as good as this Tour de l'Ain has been, I'll be so stoked. Quintana coming in third, and Primoz gaps him. Primoz steps off him easily. You're looking at your Tour de France winner about to win this stage, baby. I told you, $3.20. Go and lay it for Bernal. It's going to be longer than that this evening if it's not already moved. Primoz on their steep ramp. Bernal cracks. I mean, hats off to Bernal for trying. You know, trying to gap Primoz. But Primoz walks in, smile on his face, waving at everybody. Easy for Primoz. And Quintana actually brought back Bernal a little bit. Man, Roglič hasn't even reached his final form yet. Best all-round rider in the world. I'm G'd up. I'm fucking G'd up. Woo! Baby. Let's have a look at what Betfair's saying. Primoz was laughing, straight up. He was laughing there, man. Bernal, we're now seeing images of Bernal over his Wahoo or whatever thing they use. He looks pretty wrecked, not going to lie. I mean, he's still speaking okay. Bernal, yep, that $3.20 is gone. That $3.20 is gone for Bernal. Roglič is already firming up into fours. I think you can see it. And they're going to go into the Tour de France co-favourites. Hold on, I just missed that. What was that interaction? Can you let me know in the live chat what happened, that interaction just then between Primoz and Bernal? Alright, I need you guys in the live chat. Hey, make sure you join channel membership so you can join the Discord. I'm going to probably, when I end this stream later, I'll be talking to everyone on the Discord. What's up, KDA? Was it just a fist bump? But who initiated the fist bump? I need more information, guys. Who initiated the fist bump? Joao Almeida coming in with Bauke Mollema on his wheel. About 2 minutes back on Roglič and co. But yeah, I need you guys to join channel membership and drop a super chat or a sticker if you like the live stream in a few days. I'm not going to do Polonia after this. I'm getting a little bit sick, and a little bit tired, so I might get some proper sleep tonight. Fantastic effort from Jonathan Castroviejo. But what I need you guys to type in the live chat is, what are Ineos and Egan Bernal going to write on social media today? Was it another puncture for Thomas or Chris Froome? Is Bernal going to say great conclusion to that training preparation in Tour de l'Ain? Is that what he's going to say? Like, what are they going to say on social media about this? Because... And yeah, I think there's a fair few bookmakers now trying to back Egan Bernal. $3.55, some liquidity just came in there. Bernal will go off at the Tour de France, I think probably over 4s, I would expect. John, Thomas had 17 punctures and Bernal was saving himself for the cafe ride later. Man, the way Roglič stepped off in there, fuck me. Easy. Easy. And don't get it wrong. Don't get me wrong, or them wrong, Jumbo-Visma know who's strong on the Ineos team. Jumbo-Visma were not worried about Thomas. They're not worried about Froome. They're only worried about one man, Egan Bernal. And yeah, crazy talent, strong rider. Oh, Bernal initiated a fist bump. Bernal initiated. Okay. Alpha move from Bernal. I'll write that in my little black book. Interesting. But I'm not sure which of them. I think they're doing the Dauphiné. That's in like 3 days. But yeah, I'm kind of shook by what's happened, not gonna lie. I don't really know how to react. Moritz Von, if you do things like that on the Tour, you will pop in week 3. Do things like what? Win the stage, gain time on GC? I don't think so. It's what Thomas did in 2018. And then he won the Tour because he gained, if you didn't count the time Dumoulin lost in the crash on that Mur stage earlier, Thomas gained so much time by winning stages and beating Dumoulin in the finale. So, no, that's exactly what Jumbo-Visma should be doing. Leon Wobbin, Sivakov or Geraint as number 2 at Ineos. I'm not sure. Daniel Salati, welcome to the Lantern Squad. Check out the community tab for the Discord link. Joel, will these watch-alongs be uploaded to YouTube later? I leave them up for channel members, just like an extra perk for them, and they kind of mess with the algorithm if I leave them up, so I generally leave them just up for channel members. Stradri, Thomas was the only one who didn't lose time during the first 10 days in 2018. So the general classification is Roglič 18 seconds ahead of Bernal, Quintana 3rd, 28 seconds behind, and Kruijswijk 4th. Timo S, do you think Roglič could peak too soon? No, I think all this peaking stuff, I've been hearing so much rubbish. Not from you guys, but from just people talking nonsense about, if you peak now, then you know, it's all about actually what you want to be doing is be really tired right now, and then you'll like magically peak in, 20 days? You'll peak in 20 days for the Tour, and like Bradley Wiggins, you know, great rider, etc., but he's got no idea what's going on at the moment. He's talking about, Froome's actually in a great position for where he needs to be, because then he can peak for week 3 of the Tour de France. It's like, yeah, Bradley, you know Froome's going to get dropped and lose time on stage 1? Like, have you looked at the profile in the first week of the Tour de France? It ain't fucking easy, man. There's genuine climbing days in that first week. So you got to be on for that first week of the Tour de France, which, I repeat, is in 20 days. So, yeah, that ship has sailed, though. I'm pretty sure like 95% of people who've actually watched these races in the last 4 days accept that Froome is not contesting GC in the Tour de France. But yeah, Rian Corchet says Roglič doing a proper Frank Vandenbroek. DS, how do you want me to win? Legit though, like Roglič looking mad strong. And yeah, but you can be top 15 in the first week. You only need to peak in the 3rd week. But if you're losing time in the first week, then that's not a help, is it? I think Primoz is exactly where he needs to be. He's smiling. And like, I think my Froome bet is looking pretty tasty. Not gonna lie, like I'm pretty happy with that. Hardaway Ladino says Quintana can't win the Tour, but it's definitely good to see him doing so good. Nairo Quintana's going to win a stage. this year. 100% Nairo will win a stage in the Tour this year. The only reason he won't is if he's too close on GC and they can't let him go, like they did last year. But if he's in a break again, like he was on the Galibier stage, stage 18 last year, if he's in a break, he's winning a stage. But it depends what he goes for. He might just luck into being on a good position on GC because maybe the Tour de France field isn't as stacked as we think it is, guys. Like maybe Dumoulin, Froome, Thomas really aren't in a condition to compete properly for GC. And maybe it's just Roglič, Bernal, and whoever else. But yeah, I think... Do you guys think I'm overreacting to what's happened in Tour de France this year? I don't think I am, because it's actually moved the betting markets for the Tour de France in real time. So people just as smart, if not smarter than me, are reacting to what they're seeing very quickly. So I actually think Pogačar, if you want another takeaway, if you want to get a takeaway from this tour, from the Tour de France, I would probably be betting Pogačar for podium GC, because there's not going to be that depth that we really thought there would be in Jumbo-Visma and Ineos for GC contenders. And I think Kruijswijk and Dumoulin look very, very committed to sacrificing themselves fully for Roglič, and so they will inevitably lose time on stages. Same with Bennett. So I think someone like Pogačar could sneak into third position on GC. Excuse me. Bookman currently is at very, very big odds, which you can see right there, 40-1 to win the Tour de France. Actually, no, you can't see that. I'll just scroll down. Thanks, Alex Murdoch, for the £2 donation. Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for the thumbs up. Emru RS, what do you think about Mitchelton Scott GC at the Tour this year? Well, I'd like it if they had taken Simon Yates, but they're not taking him. And I think they're running for Chavez, so that's going to be a fucking disaster. So, yeah, I don't like the chances for GC at the Tour this year at all. With the Horde, the only weakness we've seen from Roglič was the tiredness in week 3 of the Giro when he had no teammates and to close everything from himself. Yes, agree. And also his time trial was very poor relative to what we expected in in 2018 when he lost a lot of time, over a minute, to Chris Froome in stage 20 of the Tour de France 2018. But even if he is tired in week 3, I don't think he's losing time or much at all to Egan Bernal and La Planche de Belfi time trial. I think even if he's tired, he's going to gain time on Egan Bernal. And judging from what we've just seen in the Tour de France right now, Egan Bernal's going to have his work cut out for the last week, closing down his attacks himself without teammates. So, yeah, I'm not sure the time trial is going to be an issue for Roglič. Mela says, I think Tom Dumoulin is stronger than he appears here. I doubt they'll put him as a helper early on. I don't know. It depends. Depends how deep their train is. You know, if Bennett's pulling, then sure, he doesn't have to. But maybe... I think Dumoulin's happy to ride as a helper this year, and I think they're going to use Kruijswijk as the attacker, as the counter-attacker and faux attacker, for then Roglič to attack over the top of him. Todd King, a former ski jumper, out climbing a Colombian climbing specialist 3 weeks before the Tour. What a time to be alive. Pretty sure he did cross-country skiing, not ski jumping, mate. Vikram Venkatesh says, Ineos team for Dauphiné looks stronger. Yeah, you got to remember that Ineos are missing Ganna, Moscon, and Kwiatkowski. Would those three have made a difference to the result we just saw? Don't think so, to be honest. With the Horde, if Kruijswijk goes up the road in week 1 and 2 when Bernal has no teammates, do you think he closes it? Well, that's the question, right? If Kruijswijk, and that's what I was saying earlier in this stream, Kruijswijk could somehow win the Tour this year, kind of like the way Carapaz won it by if he goes up the road early and Bernal's like, I can't expend the energy closing this guy down, I have to mark Roglič, and no one chases him, and he like gains 3 minutes because once he does have a gap, Kruijswijk can ride well. And then suddenly he's in yellow jersey, and then Jumbo-Visma ride to protect him. kind of like what happened with Froome and Thomas, I guess, in 2018 in the Tour de France. Yeah, I could see Kruijswijk. It's conceivable that he could win the Tour. No, Primož Roglič wasn't a ski jumper. He was a professional snooker player. Look it up. Google it, man. He wasn't a ski jumper. Sick of people trying to tell me he's a ski jumper. But that's the first time I heard he was a ski jumper. So, yeah. Don't know where you guys picked that up. But just so you guys know, this stage was a stage in the Tour de France in 2015, and is this Marco Brenner? Looks like Marco Brenner. And this stage should have really suited Egan Bernal. Remember, in the La Route Occitanie, this sort of stage really suited Bernal. So steep finish like that, and he just, I don't like the way that Bernal rode this stage, if I'm honest. I don't really get it. Like, he was clearly strong enough to attack at the end. So I don't get the surfing the back of the bunch the whole time and being off the wheel of Roglič and co, when Roglič was clearly the strongest. And it just meant that when there was a split, Dumoulin and co, Dumoulin just got to ride tempo and Bernal had to close it himself. I don't really understand the way Bernal rode this stage. It's a little bit, I mean, he probably was like not used to it, right? Like, normally you don't have to think. If you're Ineos leader, right, you just sit fourth wheel and people just bang it. And then last kilometer they peel off and you just go whoop and you attack. Whereas when you got no teammates and you're trying to gain time on GC, the shoe is on the other foot. You know, this is what everyone else has been struggling with for 10 years in the Tour de France. How do you gain time on GC against a team in the yellow jersey who are riding tempo on the front or can ride you back far out? But if he wasn't feeling like maybe he wasn't feeling great, but he was feeling good enough to, Bernal was feeling good enough to like attack at the end and dropped Quintana and Port and co. So like he wasn't going to get dropped out of that group. He was like kind of dropping himself, right? I'm just seeing what people are saying on Twitter right now, reacting to this. Joe's Wed, who wins the Tour? Call it right now. Jumbo-Visma. Jumbo-Visma winning the Tour, and the most likely was Roglič. I've been saying that for a long time. Because I don't think the Tour profile really suits Bernal, because, like, if there were a couple of days like last year, Galibier and Col d'Isère, where there's just monster altitude, where I see Roglič, you know, really struggling with, then maybe Bernal could win. But Bernal, there's no real altitude in this year's Tour de France. Yeah, there's not much time trialing, which is Bernal's weakness too, but punchy finish below altitude. Bernal's not dropping Roglič, man, without an Ineos train and Roglič being isolated. And it's the other way around with the team strength right now. So Roglič has to be the favourite. And the betting odds don't yet reflect that, but I think they'll reach at least equality, Roglič and Bernal, when the Tour actually sets off. They should do. Joris Seitz, do you think the Buchmann can make the Tour de France podium this year? 100% he can. And I'll probably be, if I can get decent liquidity on and decent odds in the maybe 10 to 1, 12 to 1 on Buchmann getting on the podium, I'll probably bet on that as well as Pogacar. So Pogacar and Buchmann. And I think Bora Hansgrohe will have a stronger team than Ineos at the Tour de France. Stefan Daly, why didn't Bernal attack sooner? Yes, he was isolated, and I think not feeling fantastic either. Castroviejo did his best, but yeah. Did you guys know that Remco Evenepoel was played professional cricket for Surrey as a Colpack player in under 17s? He played county cricket for Surrey. wild shit. The transitions from sports, crazy these days. Attila Latslo, don't you think Bernal is the same like Froome's doing all the time? He didn't want to go in his red zone, so he followed the attack lately. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think he could do anything because they had Tom Dumoulin on the front setting pace. Jumbo-Visma, that is, and Bennett in the last 3 kilometers. And Roglič would have just closed him down and sat on his wheel. And it's not at altitude. And Roglič is a world-class climber. Jacob Peck, what do you think about Pinot's chances for podium if he makes it without injury? I kind of like Buchmann over Pinot for podium, to be honest. But the route does suit Pinot too. The route really sees Pinot. But he didn't look fantastic at La Route d'Occitanie. He lost, a minute or so to Bernal. But I think there's a really big gap between Roglič and Bernal and the rest. Which is contrary to what we thought. I thought, a week ago, I thought it's the most stacked Tour de France GC leader field ever, but it probably will come down to these 2 guys. Oliver Batter, is Dennis going to the Tour? I'm not sure he is because he needs to ride the World Championships individual time trial, and I think that's on the last day of the Tour de France, so I don't think he can do both. But good result for Quintana. I think Quintana's a shout for the podium at the Tour as well, although his TT is going to suck. His team's sneaky strong, Warren Barguil, Diego Rosa, Dia Quintana, Winner Anacona. Pretty strong team. I kind of like Quintana for the podium. I really think that 3rd position, I mean, everything I'm saying, right, assumes there won't be crashes. If there's a crash, someone crashes out, obviously that opens it up more. But if there's no crashes, and we're assuming Roglič, Bernal, probably 2 top steps, that 3rd position I think is really open between Pinot, Buchmann, and Quintana. Hens 333. You don't think Tom can compete? I don't think the plan is for Dumoulin to be competing for GC. Hardaway Ladino, my man Quintana did 2nd at the Colombian National Individual Time Trial Championships. Yeah, but Colombian National Individual Time Trial Championships it's not good. Winning that means you're probably the 25th best time trialist out of the GC guys. No offense. Steinkold, do you see MVP winning a monument this year? No, I don't. I don't see that. Vikram Venkatesh, top 10 for Alaphilippe. He says he's going for stage wins, but he said he didn't feel good for Milan-San Remo. So who knows what is going to happen with Alaphilippe. Hardaway Ladino says quarantine did good to Port. I think he's in better shape. Anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed these live streams the last couple of days, let me know if you want me to do these for the Tour de France or even the Dauphiné next week. If you've enjoyed these, if there's anything you'd like me to change about them, I can change things up, the screens you see or whatever. I can't show you the race, obviously, but is there anything else you'd like to see or change up the what the video is showing? I can do that. But if you like them, consider dropping a sticker or a super chat, or join channel membership on the join button and get in the Discord, or become a Lantern captain and you can see lots of other content. And Tommy T, Eurosport needs to hire you. No, ITV already hired me. My boy's been in the chat. My manager at ITV, he's in the live chat. They are on board with the Lanterne Rouge and what we bring to the table and what this community is. They don't want to change anything, and I think you've seen that. If you've seen the ITV videos I've made, it's pretty much the same sort of videos that I make on my channel, just on the ITV channel. So, ITV's been fantastic for both me and I think them so far, which has been really good. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the ones you have been able to see, and if you're in the UK, you've been able to see all of them. ITV has full Tour de France coverage, obviously, in the UK. So my ITV videos will be for the Tour de France. I'll be doing analysis videos during the tour, but they'll be geo-blocked to the UK. But I'm going to end the stream there. Thanks as always for joining, guys. I'll see you back at the Dauphiné, and